I'll write part 1. First contact of the story in about 800 words using simple English in third-person style as requested. The giant ships of the Galactic Alliance filled the view screens. They were massive, some nearly the size of small moons. Captain Jisoo of the Earth vessel. Pioneer stood calmly on the bridge as her crew stared at the alien fleet. "They're huge," whispered Officer Sung, his eyes wide. Jisoo nodded. "Size isn't everything," she said with a small smile. The 7 ships of Earth's first diplomatic fleet looked tiny compared to the Alliance vessels. The Pioneer, their flagship, was joined by 6 smaller ships: Pathfinder, Venture, Discovery, Horizon, Seeker, and Explorer. They had traveled for 3 years to reach this part of space after detecting Alliance communications. Jisoo was short but strong, with steady hands and clear eyes. She had been chosen to lead this mission because she stayed calm under pressure. Right now she felt the weight of humanity's future on her shoulders. "They're hailing us," said Communications Officer Dae Sung. "On screen," ordered Jisoo. The face that appeared wasn't human. It had blue-green skin, 4 eyes, and a mouth that seemed too wide. It spoke perfect English. "This is Commander Tae-ho of the Galactic Alliance. Identify yourselves, small fleet." Jisoo stepped forward. "I am Captain Jisoo of Earth. We come in peace to open diplomatic relations with the Galactic Alliance." A strange sound came from Tae-ho. It took Jisoo a moment to realize he was laughing. "Earth? We have not heard of this world. Your ships are primitive. Are you lost, little ones?" Jisoo kept her face neutral. "We are exactly where we intend to be, Commander. We request a meeting to discuss peaceful relations between our civilizations." Tae-ho seemed amused. "Very well. You may dock your tiny vessel in Bay 94 of our command ship. We will meet in 3 hours." The screen went dark. "He thinks we're no threat," said Security Chief Hyun-ki. "Good," replied Jisoo. "Let them think that." 3 hours later, Jisoo and 2 officers stood in a massive meeting hall aboard the Alliance command ship. The ceiling was so high they could barely see it. The Alliance representatives sat at a raised table, looking down at the humans. Commander Tae-ho examined them with all 4 eyes. Next to him sat Admiral Do-hyun, whose skin was darker blue, and Science Officer Ha-eun, who kept scanning the humans with a small device. "Welcome to Alliance space," said Tae-ho, "though I must say we are surprised by your limited presence. Is this truly all the ships your species can muster for first contact?" Jisoo smiled politely. "We come as diplomats, not as a show of force." Ha-eun looked up from her scanner. "Their biology is interesting. High gravity adaptation, surprising muscle density, and unusual brain patterns." Yes. Tae-ho waved his hand dismissively. "Tell us about your world, Captain. What resources do you offer the Alliance?" Jisoo noticed the immediate focus on resources. "Earth is the 3rd planet in our solar system. We have a diverse biosphere and civilization. We seek knowledge exchange and peaceful trade." Admiral Do-hyun leaned forward. "And your military capabilities?" "We prefer to discuss peaceful cooperation." First, Jisoo replied carefully. Tae-ho and Do-hyun exchanged glances and small laughs. "Of course," said Tae-ho. "Your 7 small ships speak for themselves." The meeting continued for another hour. The Alliance officials barely hid their lack of interest. They clearly saw humans as a minor, undeveloped species. As the humans prepared to leave, Ha-eun approached Jisoo privately. "Your ships use an unusual energy signature. May I ask what powers them?" Jisoo smiled. "Just a simple fusion drive with some modifications." Ha-eun didn't seem convinced but nodded politely. Back aboard, the Pioneer Jisoo called a meeting with her senior staff. "They think we're primitive and weak," said Hyun-ki. "Should we show them our real technology?" Jisoo shook her head. "Not yet. Their arrogance gives us an advantage. Let's gather more information first." Officer Dae Sung spoke up. "Captain, I detected unusual communications during our meeting. A faction within the Alliance seems unhappy with our arrival. Pirates, said Hyun-ki. I recognized some of the symbols in the docking bay. They operate at the edges of Alliance space. Jisoo looked thoughtful. Then we should prepare for a less friendly encounter soon. That night, as most of the crew slept, the alarm sounded. Captain to the bridge, called the night officer. Jisoo arrived to see 5 small ships approaching. They weren't Alliance military vessels. Pirates, confirmed Hyun-ki. They're targeting us specifically. Jisoo smiled. Perfect. Now we can show a small sample of what humans can do. Activate defensive systems, but don't use the advanced weapons. Let's just give them a taste. As the pirate ships opened fire, the Pioneers' shields glowed slightly but held firm. The pirates seemed confused, firing again with stronger weapons. They expected us to be damaged by now, said Jisoo. Shall we respond? Hyun-ki grinned. With pleasure, Captain. The Pioneer fired a single warning shot that passed between 2 pirate vessels. The energy reading was far beyond what the Alliance would expect from such a primitive ship. The pirates immediately broke off their attack and fled. On the Alliance command ship, Commander Taeho was awakened by an urgent message. He watched the recording of the brief battle with growing concern. Perhaps, he muttered to himself, these humans deserve more attention than I thought. The news about the pirate attack spread quickly through the Alliance. Commander Taeho sat in his private chamber reviewing the footage again. Something wasn't right about these humans. Their shields shouldn't have held against those weapons, he muttered. A soft chime announced his science officer. Ha-Yun entered carrying a small container. Commander, I've analyzed the debris from the pirate ships, she said. The human weapons left unusual energy signatures I cannot explain. Taeho frowned. Impossible. Their ships are too small to carry advanced weapons. Yet they do, Ha-Yun insisted. Their technology follows different principles than ours. Meanwhile, Captain Jisoo and her team prepared to visit the Alliance trading outpost. The station was massive, with hundreds of alien species buying and selling goods from across the galaxy. Remember, we're just simple traders, Jisoo told her crew. Be friendly, but don't reveal anything important. Security Chief Hyun-ki nodded. What about the Alliance's refusal to acknowledge the pirate attack? That tells us something important about how they operate, Jisoo replied. They don't take responsibility for problems in their territory. The human team walked through the busy market. Aliens of all shapes and sizes stared at them. Most had never seen humans before. Officer Dae-sung listened carefully to conversations around them. Captain, they're talking about us. The pirates have spread stories about our shields. Good, said Jisoo. Let them wonder. A tall, thin alien approached them. His skin was pale green, and he had only 2 eyes, unlike most Alliance species. Greetings, humans. I am Merchant Q. I would be honored to trade with your kind. Jisoo smiled. What do you offer? Information, Q whispered. About the Alliance military. They are very interested in your world. Before Jisoo could respond, Alliance guards appeared. Captain Jisoo, said the lead guard. Admiral Do-hyun requests your presence immediately. In the Admiral's chamber, Do-hyun didn't look pleased. Captain, we detected unusual maneuvers from your ships last night. What were you doing? Just routine exercises, Jisoo replied calmly. My crew needs to stay sharp. Those movements seemed like you were mapping our sensor grid, Do-hyun said coldly. Jisoo kept her face neutral. I assure you we're simply maintaining our readiness. The Admiral's 4 eyes narrowed. We've been monitoring your communications. You sent a message toward your home system. Yes, Jisoo admitted. We report regularly to Earth. Using technology. We cannot intercept, Do-hyun added. Quite advanced for such a primitive species. Jisoo simply smiled. We have our methods. In another part of the station, Commander Taeho met secretly with Ha-un. I've started investigating this Earth, he said quietly. Something doesn't add up. Why send only 7 ships for first contact? Ha-un nodded. Their biology suggests they evolved on a high-gravity world with extreme conditions. Such environments create survivors, meaning they might be more dangerous than they appear. Tejo looked troubled. I've requested permission to send probes to their home system, but the Leadership Council laughed at me. They see humans as potential servants, nothing more. Later that day, Jisu's team returned to their ships. Officer Sung was excited. Captain, I bought these data crystals from Merchant Q. They contain information about Alliance military protocols and fleet movements. Jisu examined the crystals. Well done. This will help us prepare. That night, the human ships performed a series of complex maneuvers that confused Alliance sensors. While they were distracted, Officer Daesung hacked into their communication network. Captain, I've found something, he reported. The Alliance is planning to send a delegation to Earth. They want to assess our resources. Jisu's expression hardened. They're looking for what they can take. The next morning, Commander Tejo called an emergency meeting with the Alliance Leadership Council. Only 3 members bothered to attend. These humans are hiding their true capabilities, Tejo insisted. We should approach with caution. Council Leader Min scoffed. They have 7 tiny ships. What threat could they pose? Their technology is different, not inferior, Tejo argued. And why send such a small fleet unless what? Interrupted Min. Unless it's not their main fleet at all, Tejo said quietly. What if this is just a diplomatic mission, and their real military is elsewhere? The council members laughed. You worry too much, Commander, said Min. These humans will make excellent servants once we show them our power. We'll take their resources and add their planet to our territory. Tejo left the meeting frustrated. In the corridor, he met Ha-un. They won't listen, he said. Ha-un looked grim. Then we must prepare for the worst, because I believe these humans are far more dangerous than anyone realizes. The Alliance Council chamber fell silent as the holographic display showed Earth's solar system. 500 warships were marked in red, preparing to move toward the small blue planet. Council Leader Min stood tall before the gathered officials. The humans have refused our generous offers of protection. Now they will learn what happens to those who defy the Alliance. Commander Tejo watched from the side, his 4 eyes troubled. Something about this mission felt wrong. The humans had shown unusual confidence despite their small fleet. On the Pioneer, Captain Jisu received the Alliance's message. Her face remained calm as she read it to her crew. They demand Earth joins the Alliance as a servant world. All resources to be shared, with the Alliance taking 80%. All human military assets to be surrendered. We have 10 days to comply or face destruction. Officer Hyun-ki clenched his fists. They have no idea what awaits them. Jisu nodded. Prepare the quantum messenger, it's time to contact home. Later that night, Alliance sensors detected a strange energy spike from the Pioneer. Commander Tejo was called to the monitoring station. What was that? He asked the technician. Unknown, sir. The energy signature vanished almost instantly. We believe they sent some kind of message, but it's impossible. No signal could reach their home system so quickly. Tejo frowned. Unless they have technology we don't understand. The next day, Tejo requested a private meeting with Captain Jisu. They met in a secure room on the Alliance station. Your ultimatum is unnecessary, Jisu said calmly. We came here for peace. Tejo studied her face. It wasn't my decision, but I must warn you, Captain. The Alliance fleet is massive. 500 warships are preparing to move against your world. Jisu didn't seem worried, which only increased Tejo's concern. Thank you for the warning, Commander, she said simply. But it would be wiser for the Alliance to choose friendship over force. Why did you come with only 7 ships? Tejo asked suddenly. Jisu smiled. We're explorers, not conquerors. And the rest of your fleet? I never said there was more. After the meeting, Tejo couldn't shake his unease. He decided to investigate further. Using his security clearance, he accessed the deep space scanning archives. What he found disturbed him greatly. There had been unusual activities in Earth's solar system for years. The outer planets showed signs of large-scale mining operations. The asteroid belt had strange energy readings. And Mars, Earth's neighbor planet, showed thermal signatures that suggested massive underground facilities. Taeho took his findings to Admiral Do-hyun, who dismissed them immediately. These humans are primitive. Their ships can barely travel. Between stars, the Admiral said with a laugh. A few mining operations don't concern me. But sir, the scale suggests... Enough, Commander. The Council has made its decision. The fleet leaves tomorrow. Meanwhile, Jisoo met with her officers on the Pioneer. Is Earth ready? Asked Officer Dae-sung. Jisoo nodded. The message was received. All systems are on alert. Will they reveal everything? Asked Hyun-ki. Only if necessary, Jisoo replied. But the Alliance has made their choice. They see us as weak because of our size. They don't understand that humans learned long ago that true strength isn't about having the biggest ships. The next day, Commander Taeho was summoned to the Alliance Council. They wanted him to join the invasion fleet as an advisor. You've spent the most time studying these humans, said Council Leader Min. Your knowledge will be valuable when we reach their world. Taeho tried one last time. I believe we're underestimating them. There are signs they have much greater capabilities than we've seen. The council members laughed. 7 ships, Commander, said Min. 7 tiny ships against 500 of our most powerful warships. What could possibly go wrong? As the massive Alliance fleet prepared to depart, Captain Jisoo watched from the Pioneer's bridge. Officer Sung approached her with a message. Earth Command sends one word, Captain. Awakening. Jisoo nodded. Then it begins. Send a final warning to the Alliance leadership. The message was simple. The Alliance fleet must stand down. Further aggression against Earth will be met with consequences beyond your understanding. We came in peace. Remember that. The Alliance Council's response was immediate. Laughter. The massive Alliance fleet emerged from hyperspace near Pluto. 500 warships, each carrying thousands of soldiers, formed a wall of metal and energy. Admiral Do-hyun stood on the command deck of the flagship, smiling as he viewed the small blue planet in the distance. So this is Earth, he said. It looks ordinary. Commander Taeho stood beside him, still troubled. Admiral, I recommend we approach with caution. Send scouts first. Do-hyun laughed. There's no need. Our sensors show minimal orbital defenses. Their technology is decades behind ours. The fleet moved forward, passing Neptune and then Uranus. Alliance soldiers prepared for what they expected would be an easy conquest. As they approached Saturn, something strange happened. Their sensors began showing unusual readings. Admiral, called the sensor officer, I'm detecting energy spikes throughout the system. They weren't there before. Taeho moved to the screen. It's as if something is waking up. Suddenly, the rings of Saturn began to move. What the Alliance had thought were simple ice particles started to separate. Thousands of objects detached from the rings. What is that? Gasped Do-hyun. Taeho's eyes widened. Ships! Those are ships! The objects moved with incredible speed, forming perfect formations. They were human vessels, hidden in Saturn's rings, perfectly camouflaged until now. The communications officer turned to the Admiral. Sir, we're receiving thousands of new signals from Jupiter's moons as well. The giant moons of Jupiter, Io, Europa, Ganymede, and Callisto, opened. Massive doors revealed hidden bases and more ships poured out. The moons themselves were not just natural satellites, but massive space stations. Impossible, whispered. Do-hyun. Commander Taeho felt a strange mixture of fear and admiration. They've been preparing for centuries. The entire system is fortified. As the Alliance fleet approached Mars, the red planet itself seemed to come alive. The surface opened in multiple locations and massive defense platforms rose from underground hangars. Ships 3 times the size of the largest Alliance vessels emerged from beneath the Martian soil. Admiral, said Taeho, we should retreat and reconsider. but Do Hyun's pride wouldn't allow it. "No, we have 500 ships. Attack!" The admiral gave the order, and the Alliance fleet fired their most powerful weapons. Beams of energy shot toward the human defenses. Nothing happened. An invisible shield absorbed every attack. Not a single human ship or station was damaged. Then Earth itself spoke. A calm voice came through all Alliance communication systems. "This is Earth Defense Command. Your hostile actions have been noted. However, we do not wish for bloodshed. Power down your weapons immediately." Admiral Do Hyun was furious. "Continue the attack. Target their main fleet." The Alliance ships fired again with the same result. Then the human vessels began to move. They didn't fire weapons. Instead, they released small objects that attached to Alliance ships. When they connected, the Alliance ships simply shut down. "We've lost power," reported officers throughout the fleet. One by one, the mighty Alliance warships went dark. Their engines stopped, weapon systems failed, and life support switched to emergency power. In just 20 minutes, 400 Alliance ships were disabled without a single shot fired. "What kind of technology is this?" Do Hyun demanded. Tae-ho was analyzing the data. "They're using some kind of targeted electromagnetic pulse. It shuts down our systems but leaves their own untouched." On the remaining Alliance ships, panic spread. Soldiers who had expected an easy victory now faced an enemy with vastly superior technology. Commander Tae-ho turned to Admiral Do Hyun. "Sir, they could destroy us all, but they're choosing not to. They're disabling our ships without killing our people. We should surrender." Do Hyun couldn't believe what was happening. His 500 ships were being defeated by an enemy they had laughed at just days ago. The voice from Earth spoke again. "This is your final warning. All Alliance ships must stand down or face complete neutralization. We do not wish to harm you, but we will protect our home." Tae-ho stepped forward. "Admiral, please. They're showing mercy. We should accept it." Finally, Do Hyun nodded. "All ships, stand down." As the Alliance fleet surrendered, Captain Jisoo's voice came through the communication systems. "Commander Tae-ho, this is Captain Jisoo. We would like you to join us on Earth as our guest. It's time you learned who we really are." Commander Tae-ho stood nervously as the shuttle descended toward Earth. Through the windows, he saw vast cities, green forests, and blue oceans. It was beautiful, but what amazed him most were the massive space elevators connecting the planet to orbital stations. "Your world is more advanced than we imagined," he said to Captain Jisoo, who sat beside him. "We've had centuries to build," she replied. "While other species focused on expanding outward, we developed our home system first." The shuttle landed in a city called New Seoul. Tae-ho and the Alliance leaders were taken to a large meeting hall where human officials waited. General Minho, Earth's defense leader, stepped forward to greet them. "Welcome to Earth," he said. "Today marks a new beginning for both our peoples." The Alliance representatives looked uncomfortable. Council leader Min, once so confident, now seemed small. "How did you hide all this?" he asked. "Our scans showed nothing." General Minho smiled. 200 years ago, a small alien ship crashed on Earth. The pilot died, but we learned from his technology. We discovered that the galaxy was full of advanced civilizations, some peaceful, others not. So we prepared. Tae-ho was shown around, Earth's Defense Command Center. He saw how humans had built massive underground cities on Mars, mining facilities throughout the asteroid belt, and bases on the moons of Jupiter and Saturn. Everything was hidden from outside detection. "Why did you send only 7 ships for first contact?" he asked Jisoo. "We wanted to see how you would treat those you thought were weaker," she replied. It told us everything we needed to know about the Alliance. Later, during formal negotiations, the humans proposed a new type of relationship, not conquest, not servitude, but true partnership. "We offer our technology and knowledge freely," said General Minho. "In return, we ask for peace and respect for all worlds, including those the Alliance has conquered." Council leader Min was shocked. "You would share your advanced technology after we tried to conquer you?" "Humans believe in second chances," replied Minho. "War benefits no one, Together we can build something better. Over the next few days, Alliance representatives toured Earth's facilities. They saw medical centers where humans had cured diseases the Alliance still struggled with. They visited farms where Earth grew enough food to feed billions. And they watched children playing in parks living without fear. Commander Tejo was most impressed by Earth's philosophy. "You could have destroyed our fleet," he said to Jisoo during a quiet moment. "Why didn't you?" "Because that's not who we are," she answered. Humans learned long ago that true strength isn't about destruction. It's about creation, building rather than breaking. On the final day, the Alliance and Earth signed a new treaty. The Galactic Alliance would become a true partnership of equals. No world would be forced to join, resources would be shared fairly, and Earth would help raise the living standards across all worlds. Commander Tejo was chosen to be the first Alliance ambassador to Earth. As the other Alliance ships prepared to return home with news of the new arrangement, he walked through a park with Jisoo. They stopped at a playground where something remarkable was happening. A human child was playing with a young Alliance child. The two looked very different, one with 2 eyes, the other with 4, but they laughed and played together as if it was the most natural thing in the world. "This is why we do what we do," said Jisoo, pointing to the children. "Not for power or control, but for them, for the future." Tejo watched the children play. For the first time, he understood the true strength of humanity. It wasn't their hidden fleets or advanced technology. It was their capacity for both incredible preparation and astonishing forgiveness. "I think," said Tejo quietly, "this is the beginning of something wonderful." Jisoo smiled. "It's just the beginning." Above them, the stars were coming out. And among those stars, a new galactic order was taking its first steps.